Hello everyone. So good afternoon. So my name is Harish Amati and this is our weekly current affairs class. We have already uploaded one video. Okay, it was recorded in Hyderabad. I hope you have watched it. Okay, this is our part 2 for January. Okay, so last 1 week was holiday. So everyone is comfortable in English. No? I was told to talk in English. Okay. So last week was holiday. So last 1 week current affairs plus as much possible current affairs from the previous week. I have included it. Okay. So this was already explained in our previous class, but let me explain again for those students who have not watched my previous video. So the importance of current affairs in UPSC CSC preparation and how you should read current affairs. How you, first understand that current affairs is only 30% weightage in this UPSC exam. Many people think current affairs is very, like 80-90% weightage and static is very less important. No, it is a stereotype. Current affairs is only 30% weightage. But 80 to 90% questions come from current affairs. So how is it that? How is more or less most questions are coming from current affairs but not current affairs questions? It is because questions are inspired from current affairs. But it is not current affairs, it is a static question. Let's say you have read somewhere, some festival is celebrated. You have read it in newspaper. So you will think it is a current affair. But the question on that particular festival will be static because it is celebrated every year. It is celebrated every year in India. Okay, some person got elected as MP. It is a current affair, but it is useless to us. It is just a news. We need issue behind that. How MPs are elected. Okay, so every news article you come across, focus on the issue behind it, not the news itself. Okay, most news articles are irrelevant to us. This is the difference between who is experienced and a new aspirant. New aspirant overly focus on news, and he thinks every current affair is important. No, you should develop that ability to differentiate which is important, which is not. Okay, questions directly from current affairs will be only maximum of 30%. Okay, critical analysis, develop the art of balance. Like every coin will have two sides, every issue will have two sides. Some people will support it, some people will oppose it. So try to understand what people supporting are saying at the same time what people opposing are saying. Okay, try to hear both sides because you are aspiring to be an administrator. So try to balance both sides. Okay, come to a rational conclusion. Okay, maintain consistency, read newspaper every day. This class does not tell you that you don't have to read newspaper. Newspaper is your customized preparation, nothing can replace it. No coaching material, no YouTube video, no class can replace it. Every day you should read newspaper till the day of the exam, and you should make your notes from it. Okay, so maintain consistency. Okay, link to syllabus as much as possible. Okay, if you did not watch my first video of Jan part 1, please after the class go to YouTube and watch it, because I have clearly explained this point, how a single article can be linked to multiple papers, GS papers. Okay, so this will be our flow. Okay, we will start from news articles relevant to GS paper 1, then GS2, GS3, GS4. Okay, I hope you have a basic understanding about UPSC syllabus. Okay, GS paper 1, GS paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. Okay, this is the composition. First, listen to the class. Okay, the PPT and the content you can get from the office later. Okay, so don't read the slides right now. Here to what I am trying to say, here to my explanation. Okay, so our first news article is Harvest Festivals of India. So as I told you, last week was full of festivals throughout India. Okay, so there was an article in Indian Express. Let me clarify this first. My primary source, okay, for this video is the Hindu only. The Hindu newspaper is the primary source for all my news articles. I have supplemented the Hindu with some important articles from Indian Express. Okay, some articles like this, which I thought was good, I have supplemented from Indian Express and PIB. Okay, PIB is a government source. Okay, and Indian Express. Okay, this is the main source. These are supplementary sources. You should read only one newspaper consistently. Okay, if you have time, you can go for additional things. Okay. So this article talks about various festivals celebrated around the month of January throughout India. Okay, and these are mostly harvest festivals. See, you see many festivals across India during the month of Jan because of these reasons. Harvest. Is this ink visible? Rectangle visible? Okay. So we have 3 agriculture seasons. These are 3 agriculture seasons of India. First one is called Kharif season. I mean, these are different timelines for crops. Okay, Kharif season is from June to September or October. Okay, why from June? Because in June India experiences monsoon. From June monsoon will start. So in expectation of this monsoon, people will start planting crops. Okay, and the harvest of this crop which was planted in or sown in June will be harvested in September, October. This is called Kharif season. Then after the end of Kharif, Rabi season will start from October, November. Okay, so this is roughly around Jan Feb. Okay, Jan Feb. The harvest sown during October, November, and it will be harvested around January, February. Okay, and Jai is just a intermittent season between these two. Okay, from March or April or May till again monsoon comes. These are 3 agricultural seasons of India. Which crops will be sown in which region varies. Okay, in south if you see mostly rice will be sown in Kharif season, etc. It may be wheat in north. Okay, so which crop will be sown depends on season and the region, particular region. These are mostly these are the 3 agriculture seasons of India, and at the end of every harvest, depends on region, they celebrate these harvest festivals. Okay, like Onam is celebrated in Kerala at the end of Kharif. Onam festival is celebrated in Kerala around August-September period. But most harvest festivals in India are celebrated at the end of Rabi. Okay, you see here. So in Punjab it is called Lohri. In Andhra we call it Makar Sankranti or Pedda Panduga. Okay, and in Gujarat it is called Uttarayan. Same Makar Sankranti in Maharashtra. In Kerala, a similar festival at the similar time is celebrated. It is called Makaravilakku. In Tamil Nadu, it is called Pongal. Okay. In Assam, it is called Magh Bihu. These are similar festivals. Similar festivals celebrated for same reasons. Okay. So apart from this harvest, there are 2 other reasons these festivals are celebrated. One is onset of summer. And entry of sun into zodiac sign of Capricorn. So Makara Rasi anta mana Telugulo. Okay, so sun enters into this Capricorn zodiac sign. Okay, so that is why it is called Makara Sankranti. Okay, it is believed it is auspicious. The entering of sun into zodiac sign Capricorn or Telugulo Makara Rasiloki velladam, it is a good sign. So we celebrate Makara Sankranti. 3 similar reasons. Okay, 3 reasons together. One is harvest. Second one is onset of summer. In December we have something called December 21-22. We experience something called winter solstice. You will read in geography. So this after this winter solstice, the intensity of winter starts to decrease in northern hemisphere, and sun starts to enter the northern hemisphere slowly. By the time of March, April, sun fully enters into the northern hemisphere. Okay, so onset of summer, winter is decreasing, summer is coming. Because of that reason, because of the harvest, bountiful harvest, and the entering of the sun into new zodiac sign. Because of these 3 reasons, many festivals are celebrated across India around the same time. Okay, so these festivals are called with different names in different places. Okay, we will call it Makar Sankranti or Pedda Panduga, but we are not the only ones celebrating it. Okay, so around the same time, we celebrate Sankranti. There is a festival in West Bengal called Ganga Sagar Mela. Okay, Ganga Sagar Mela. See, It is a ritual celebration celebrated every year. So there is an island called Sagar Island in West Bengal. So people come there, and here there is a confluence. The Ganga river comes from Uttarakhand through UP, Bihar, etc. So enters Bengal, and this is the place where Ganga river enters the sea. So at the confluence of the Ganga river and Bay of Bengal, people come and take this ritual bath. Just like Kumbh Mela. You see, Kumbh Mela is occurring right now in Prayagraj. Okay. So Kumbh Mela is a religious festival. This Ganga Sagar Mela is also a religious festival. Okay. So there is a dispute going on. West Bengal government is asking central government to recognize this festival as a national Mela. Kumbh Mela is a national Mela. Central government has recognized it. When some festival is recognized as national Mela, it will receive some additional funding, some additional infrastructure, some help from central government. But if it is just a state festival, central government will not help in any way. Okay. So this West Bengal government is asking to recognize this Ganga Sagar Mela as a national festival. Okay. So right now Kumbh Mela is happening in Prayagraj. Okay. In India, every 3 years Kumbh Mela happens at one place or another. Okay. It alternates between Haridwar, Prayagraj, okay, and Ujjain and Nasik. Okay. So next, is my speed okay? You understand? You are getting, na? Okay. So President invitation box for Republic Day. So when did India become a republic? Jan 26? Someone said 1949, but what? So on 1950, Jan 26, India became a republic by taking its constitution fully. Okay, this is the day we have announced ourselves as a republic. Okay, why we took that day, why we chose that day is a concept from modern history. Okay, so on 1950, Jan 26, now we are in Jan 26. Okay, 2025 approaching, so it is like 75 days, 75 years celebration. Okay, so there is an invitation box or letter sent to some people, like president will be in Rashtrapati Bhavan, and presidents invite some people. Okay, like some people who have done some social work, etc. President wants to honor some people every year on Republic Day. President invites some people and honors them. This year, because this is a 75-year celebration, they wanted to make something special. So the invitation box sent by president is a bit unconventional. Why it is unconventional? They have taken some GI products from different places and they have created a unique invitation box. Okay, like making a pouch from a Andhra famous GI product, etc. Okay, and making some art from Mysore, etc. So the invitation box sent by president this year on the eve of Republic Day will have some products which are famous for its GI tag. What is GI tag? Like let's say purse. Purse is made from like Pochampalli ikat. It is a textile. If a purse is made from Pochampalli ikat and sent to someone, it is special. Like that, they have used 5 products or 5 art forms which have received GI tag. That is why this is in the news. What is a GI tag? Geographical indication tag. See, some places are famous for something. Like Tirupati is famous for laddu. West Bengal is famous for rasagulla. Okay. There is something called Kadaknath chicken. It is famous in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. So when an area is famous for something and it is having high demand nationally or globally, we want to keep it that way. We don't want anyone else to copy that. If someone starts making laddus and selling them in the name of Tirupati, it is not a Tirupati laddu. It is not made in Tirupati. It is just a cheap copy. But they say this is from Tirupati laddu. That may happen. So to prevent that kind of malpractices, we are issuing special tag. Like GI tag is already issued Tirupati laddu. If someone sells a laddu claiming it is from Tirupati, but it is not, then they can be punished. Okay, they are violating this act. There is an act called GI Act. Okay, Geographical Indication Goods Act. From that power, governments award this GI tag. So many products, you can go to the static portion after the class and you can have a look how many products from India received GI tags. Okay, there are so many, you cannot by heart them, but whatever the GI tags in current affairs, you should definitely remember those. So these 5 are in current affairs. After the class, please go back and just read briefly about all of this. Like Pochampalli Ikkat, it is a textile, it is some art form embedded on a textile. Kalamkari, kalam means pen, something on textile drawn from pen. Okay, Andhra Kalamkari. And Etikopaka toys, Etikopaka, it is also in Andhra Pradesh. Kanchipuram silk, Tamil Nadu. Okay, and there is another one. Okay, Ganjifa art from Mysore. It is an art form embedded on like cards or photos, etc. Okay, it is a special art form, drawings. Okay, so these 5 are used in the president invitation box this year, and these 5 have received GA tag. So that is in news. Okay, understood? So that is why invitation box this year is a bit special, just because it is 75 years celebration of our Republic Day. So next news, Kalaripayattu. So first of all, what is Kalaripayattu? Kalaripayattu is a martial art. Martial art. It is a something that is related to fighting, martial art. Okay, but it can also be used as a sport. It can be an exhibition showing some people fighting, but it can be also be used as competition. Okay, so it is a fight come sport. Please don't talk. Okay, class is being recorded. Okay, your noise will be recorded in the class. So it is a fight come sport. So every year there is something called Indian Olympic Association. Same like there is a Olympic Association at a global level, which conducts Olympics every 4 years. There is Indian Olympics Association. It conducts national games every year. Okay, every year in India, national games are celebrated. So till now, this Kalaripayattu, a martial arts from Kerala, is included as a sport. That means it is conducted, people will participate. Whoever wins in the competition, they will get medals. Okay, in this national games. Till last year, it was a sport. Now this year, they have removed it. They have removed it from sport. They are saying we will only demonstrate. Like in opening ceremony, some people show this as a cultural event, not as a sport. That is why some people are criticizing this action by Indian Olympic Association. Okay, that is why it is becoming a controversy and news. So when something in news, it is relevant to us. News is irrelevant, focus on the issue, static part. What is Kalaripayattu? Okay, so it is a martial art from Kerala. Okay. Ring of Fire. So for the past 6-7 months, actually, I mean, it has been always the case, especially in the last 6-7 months, Japan is in continuously news because of earthquakes. Frequent earthquakes are occurring and frequent tsunami alerts are being issued. So this has been the case with Japan always. So why Japan is facing so many earthquakes? I took the issue, not the news. Forget earthquake happened in Japan. By the time you will write the exam, another 10 earthquakes will come. Okay, news is not important. The issue, why earthquake is occurring, why there are frequent earthquakes in Japan, that is the issue. Okay, so why there are frequent earthquakes in Japan? Because Japan lies on something called ring of fire. So in geography, you will read about something called plate tectonics. Okay, plate tectonics. So this plate tectonics theory says Earth is composed of plates. It is not a single landmass. Okay, Earth is consisting of different plates. Like this is Pacific plate, this is North American plate, this is Eurasian plate, Indo-Australian plate. Okay, here there is something minor plate called Nazca plate, Cocos plate. Okay, here is it is Philippines plate. So here different plates are interacting. Okay, the interaction is of 3 types. You will read in geography. Okay, divergence, convergence, okay, and faulting. Okay, I mean one plate may go under another. Okay, it is called convergence. 2 plates may get separated. It is called divergence. They may move sideways one by one. It is called fault line. Okay, so these are 3 processes. Okay, static part again completely static part. Okay, so because Japan is exactly on this ring of fire. Why it is called ring of fire? It is very hot spot. Apart from earthquakes, it is also very hot spot for volcanoes. See, so many volcanoes. Most of the volcanoes in remaining part of the world, they are dormant. They don't erupt frequently. But the volcanoes in this particular place erupts very frequently. See, there is another news related to this ring of fire. There is a volcano in Indonesia, same in the last week only. There is a volcano called Mount Ibu in Indonesia between Jan 1 to Jan 20. Not even full January. In the first 20 days of January, it erupted more than 1000 times. That means it erupts, then it becomes dormant for half an hour, again it erupts, another half an hour, 1 hour. So in 20 days, it has erupted 1000 times. That much active it was. Okay. So why Indonesia is also because it is also on ring of fire. So this ring of fire is a hotspot for both earthquakes and volcanoes. Okay. Completely geography topic. Okay. So next news. Some Indian fishermen, they went to sea for fishing and they were arrested by British Navy. British Navy near this Diego Garcia Island, near an island called Diego Garcia. So this is the news. But again, this news is irrelevant to us because it happens very frequently. It often happens with Sri Lanka in most cases. Indian fishermen getting detained by Sri Lanka. Every 1 or 2 months it is in news. Okay, this time it is British Navy somewhere here. So here there are two questions. Why people are detaining this fisherman? Okay, that means it is a boundary issue. First issue is boundary issue. Why British Navy detained them? It is saying these people have entered my area, my boundaries. Okay. Second one is geography. Sorry, geography is boundary. Second one is history, world history. Why British is here? This is Indian Ocean. Britain is somewhere there. Why British Navy arrested somewhere here? So these are two issues here. Okay. So first see the location geography, Diego Garcia. So this is India, Sri Lanka, now Maldives. Here there is something called Chagos Archipelago. See, this is the equator. So it is in the southern hemisphere. So these fishermen started here from Tamil Nadu and they almost moved on to southern hemisphere. They might have thought I am in the open sea, no one's land. But they have moved closer to this Diego Garcia for fishing and they were arrested by this British Navy. So first I want to talk about boundaries. How do you determine boundaries? Who says this is India's boundary? Who says this is Pakistan? Who says this is Sri Lanka? So there is a international law called UN clause. Okay, so United Nations helped countries in the world reach a universal law on maritime boundaries. It is called Law of Sea or UN clause, United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea. Okay, it is called UN clause or Law of the Sea. It is about maritime boundaries. Boundaries on land you can easily identify, but how do you identify boundaries on the ocean, boundaries on the sea? This is how. So this UN clause says, sir, this is the end line of your land. So this is, let's say this is Kanyakumari of Tamil Nadu. This is the end of the land. You take this as baseline, sir. Imagine a line there. Now 12 nautical mile from there. What is nautical mile? Nautical mile is a different parameter. It is roughly 1.85 km. Okay. So it is a different measure. Use it for sailing. So up to 12 nautical miles, you will have complete access over airspace. So 12 nautical miles from Kanyakumari is Indian airspace. That means without India's permission, no one can enter here, even in the air. Then India will have complete rights over sea and complete rights over ocean bed. So up to 12 nautical miles, this law is saying India, just imagine everything is yours. Then between 12 to 24, that means another 12 nautical miles, you will not have right over the airspace. It is international airspace. That means anyone can fly here. But you will have rights over surface, and you will have rights over the sea bottom. Like if there are minerals here India can use them for its own purpose. India does not have to take anyone's permission to mine it. If there are minerals here, India does not have to take anyone's permission. Okay. Then another boundary, starting from here again, starting from the baseline up to 200 nautical miles. Pure facts. Okay. Just understand, this is a pure fact, just made as an understanding between nations. Okay. There is no logical scientific explanation here. Just they have devised a mechanism which every country can agree. Okay. Up to 200 nautical miles, you will have complete rights over all the mineral resources. This is called exclusive economic zone. Okay. So this is a method given by UN law of the sea. Up to 12 nautical miles, you will have all the rights. After 12, you will lose rights over airspace. After 24, you will lose rights over the surface also. You will have only rights over economic resources at the bottom. Okay. So this is also a geography concept, okay, called UN clause, okay, law of the sea. Now this decides the boundary. Okay. If someone is moving in this zone, they can call these people are moving in my zone. But if someone is crossing 200 nautical mile, it is high sea. It belongs to everyone. No one can arrest any person who is in the high sea. If someone is in here without my permission, I can arrest him. If someone came like 10 nautical miles close to Kanyakumari, India can arrest them without India's permission. Understood? So this is a mechanism that is determining boundaries between various nations on ocean. So they are saying these people came into the maritime boundary of the British Navy. Why British Navy? Because this Chagos archipelago is actually a part of Mauritius. There is a country called Mauritius. You see here it is the Mauritius. Okay. This whole region is seen as part of African plate. It is seen as more of African landmass than Indian landmass. Okay. So here it is Chagos archipelago. ఈ పర్టికులర్ మ్యాప్ క్లారిటీ బాగాలేదులేండి, కానీ మిగతా ఓకే కదా. So there is an archipelago called Chagos archipelago. What is archipelago? It is just a group of islands. Okay, series of islands. It belonged to a country called Mauritius, which was ruled by Britishers. Okay, when Britishers left in 1960s, they gave Mauritius independence, but they did not give this Chagos archipelago back. They have given only this Mauritius islands, not this Chagos archipelago, but both belong to single country called Mauritius. Okay, so people criticized British for so many years, and this particular Diego Garcia island, this is one island among this archipelago. There are many islands. One of the most important island is Diego Garcia. So what is Diego Garcia? It is a name of island which was occupied by British Navy, and they have given it to US. British have given it to US for setting up naval base. They have kept all the remaining islands with them, but everyone is criticizing British. So last year, all islands except Diego Garcia were given to Mauritius. They have returned all islands except Diego Garcia to Mauritius in last year. So Chagos archipelago is with Mauritius, but this particular Diego Garcia Island is still with UK or US. Okay, so that is why when Indian fishermen went there, British Navy arrested them. Okay, so this geography is important. This is a common issue. Indian fishermen getting detained is a this UN clause is also static geography, but this can be a main topic. Indian fishermen getting detained with Sri Lanka, it is a very big issue for us. Okay. So next topic is rat hole mining. So what is rat hole mining? This is traditional mining. In a place there is a mineral. So if the mineral is in large quantities, we will just quarry it. Okay, we will take it out. Just open the surface and take it out. This is called mining. But this is economically feasible. All this mechanization, okay, equipment, etc. Only when the mineral is in large quantities. But what if a mineral is not in large quantities? It is like very small, like 1 meter seam. Width is 1 meter, here 1 meter, here some another 1 meter, 1 meter. These are called small seams. When mining out a mineral is not economical, usually people resort to some malpractice called rat hole mining. Especially in Northeast, this is very prevalent. Okay, there is something called rat hole mining. It is practiced where there is mineral in smaller quantities and not economically feasible to do conventional mining. Okay, in India, rat hole mining is very prevalent in Meghalaya. Meghalaya is very infamous. Meghalaya is very infamous for rat hole mining, but it also exists in other northeastern states. Okay, so see the news. Now Assam is conducting a drive to close out all the rat hole mining sites. So the problem with this rat hole mining is that, see how small the holes are. Why it is called rat hole mining? Because the mineral itself is in small quantities. People will make small holes in the area where this mineral is available. Smaller as preferable. Okay, and it is very hazardous for people to enter. Okay, it is very unhealthy, illegal practice, and because holes are smaller, it also resulting in child labor. People are encouraging children to come and collect coal for them. Okay, and it is also environmentally very hazardous. So once this hole is opened, groundwater gets contaminated. Okay, so it is environmentally hazardous, very unsafe for the individual who is involved in this mining. Okay, so this is a practice which is not advocated and it was banned by NGT. So National Green Tribunal banned it. Okay, so it is a banned practice still continuing in some states in India. So recently, because Assam is conducting some drive, it is in news. Okay, again news is irrelevant. Static topic is rat hole mining. Okay, why it is done, where it is prevalent, what are the consequences of it. Okay, so what is government doing for this? So NGT already banned this practice of rat hole mining. What is government is doing this? Why we are not controlling it? Because the regulation of minerals and mining in India is very complex. That is one reason this issue is not being fully addressed. Okay, so if you see, there is something called Article 246 and 7th schedule. Okay, in that we have 3 lists: union list, state list, concurrent list. In that, mining minerals is in state list. That means all the minerals belonging to the geography of Andhra Pradesh will belong to Andhra government. Okay, Andhra government will have complete ownership over the minerals in the Andhra Pradesh. So it is in the state list. Okay, exclusive economic zone we have seen here, outside of the boundaries of country. So land ends here. So all states end here. This is called exclusive economic zone up to 200 nautical miles. Union government will have ownership over the resources in the exclusive economic zone. Okay. So this is given in the constitution itself. So mineral by its definition is a state subject in India. Okay. Central government has made another one called MMDR, Mines and Mineral Development and Regulation Act. Okay. Under this act, central government classifies two types minerals. One is major mineral, one is minor mineral. So if something is a major mineral like coal, when state government awarding a contract, it has to take approval of central government. It is mandatory as per this act. If it is a minor mineral like sand, approval of central government or union government is not mandatory. So ownership is state government, but in some cases approval of central government is mandatory. And when it is a state subject, that means Andhra government will make some rule, Odisha will have its own rule, Meghalaya will have its own rule, Assam will have its own rule. So there is no uniformity. So that is why it is particularly prevalent in some states where regulation is weak. Understood? The regulation over illegal mining in India is very complex and it is usually state subject. That is why we are not able to fully regulate this illegal mining practices in India. Okay, there is no uniformity across states. Okay, and the regulation is a bit complex. In some cases, union government gets involved. In some cases, it will not. So next news article. So there is a river interlinking project in Rajasthan. See, what is river interlinking? In India, not all rivers will have same water. Like some rivers will have overflow. Some rivers are like drying up. Take the case of Andhra. Godavari usually have surplus. You will see Godavari with surplus water in most seasons. Krishna in most seasons experiences drought, Krishna river. So river interlinking is a basic idea. You see India, some rivers are having surplus water, some rivers are having deficit water. Why not link them? So it will be balanced. So what is Polavaram right now? Polavaram project has multiple objectives like giving water, drinking water and electricity. But one of the most important objective of Polavaram is to link Godavari and Krishna, to divert surplus water from Godavari river to Krishna river, so that when there is deficit in Krishna river, surplus from Godavari can be diverted. Okay, so this is the basic simple idea, river interlinking. But is it definitely a good thing? So when I'm diverting water from one river to another river, it occupies so much land. So this is, let's say this is Godavari, this is Krishna. Now I'm connecting both of them. So I'm diverting water from Godavari to Krishna. But I have to relocate all the people living in this area. What happens to all the animals living in this area? What happens to all the natural resources, all the forests, etc. in this area? So river interlinking has its own disadvantages. It displaces people. Okay. It affects biodiversity. Okay. It affects natural habitats. So river interlinking has some advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So there is a river interlinking project in Rajasthan. So it is exactly on the border of these three states, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Here there are some rivers having surplus water. There are some rivers having surplus water. Chambal river usually have very deficit of water. So here also the same idea. Link rivers with surplus water with rivers facing deficit. Okay. So the project name is Parbati Kali Sindh Chambal Eastern Rajasthan Canal Project. Okay. So it is a river linking irrigation project. It will have multiple objectives. Okay. Apart from diverting water from surplus to deficit region, it will have other objectives like providing drinking water, generating electricity, etc. Okay. So remaining is fact only. So what is the news now? So this news article saying, sir, okay, you are implementing this project, but because of this project, there is a tiger reserve. Effect on biodiversity. There is a tiger reserve which may get submerged. Okay, what is the tiger reserve? It is nothing but Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. Okay, in GS3 environment, you will read all these national parks and tiger reserves. So there is a tiger reserve called Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. It is in Rajasthan. So because of this project, part of it may get submerged. So what will happen to the biodiversity there? It is a question. Okay. So this article is highlighting that aspect. Okay. So Ranthambore Tiger Reserve is in news. Okay. Just one. So I have to cover like 40 to 50 news articles in 3 hours. So I will be rushing a bit. Okay. You can take the PPT after the class. Any point you missed or any content you missed, you can read it peacefully at home. Okay, don't worry. So next news article is our Home Minister in a meeting. He is saying threats in Gulf of Aden and Red Sea are increasing and may increase more. So we already know there is a big war going on here, Israel Hamas. Okay, just recently only they have stopped. We will see that news also. Okay, and Israel is in war with Hamas and also Iran. Here it is Iran. So there is a group called Houthis here. Okay, this Houthis and this Iran. Okay, and here there is something called Hezbollah in Lebanon. So this whole region is fighting, very high instability, and sometimes these Houthis are attacking ships in Red Sea also. This is all in news for the past 3-4 months. So this is a very important reason. All these countries are oil-rich countries, and we are importing so much oil from these countries, and anything we are importing from Europe also will come through this Suez Canal. You know Suez Canal here. So this Red Sea is very important for India. So here there is something called Gulf of Aden. What is a Gulf? Gulf is something that is protruding into a land. So a small narrow water body protruding into a land is called Gulf. Okay, Gulf of Persia. Okay, Gulf of Cambat. Okay. So here it is called Gulf of Aden. Then there is a small strait. What is a strait? A strait is a smaller water body, narrow water body linking to larger water bodies. Okay, so it is linking Gulf of Aden and Red Sea. It is called Bab al Mandab Strait. Okay, you have to remember this geography. It is very important. Okay, especially because it is in news. Okay, this is starting now in news. We are taking the issue, not the news itself. And this is Red Sea, of course. Okay, Gulf of Aden, Bab al Mandab Strait, and Red Sea. Now this region is a hotspot already, and again our Home Ministry is saying stay alert. Threats will only increase in this region, and it is very important because our economic security and energy security depends on the situation in this region. Okay. So every election we all vote. So how do people in India vote? Can I vote from my home? Can I vote from my mobile or through electronic medium? Why? Why that option is not given to us? Because voting is a constitutional right. There is an article 326. It says every individual above 18 years should have. It is a right. I can demand. Give me my right to vote. It is a constitutional right. But what if I cannot go on that day? What if I have some other work? So balancing the constitutional right to vote and practical necessities. Okay, practical exceptions. There are some clauses like, see, why we have to go to booth and mandatorily vote, because there is an act called RPA, Representation of People Act 1951. So under this act, it is mandatory for everyone to go to the booth and vote. Okay, it is a legal mandatory rule. Now there are some people who should be exempted. You cannot say President of India, you go to booth like an ordinary person, you vote it. If you are not respecting the first citizen of India, who else you will respect? Okay. And again, I am putting some army people at the borders. They are supposed to defend India. If there are elections, now I am calling all army people to their home and come and vote. It will be a threat to India. Voting itself is conducted with the help of some government officials, teachers, etc. So they are busy in this election work government has given. How can I tell them to come to home and vote? So there are some practical necessities considering which we should give exceptions to some people. If there is a 90-year-old woman, she cannot walk. How can I tell her, you come to booth and vote? There is a disabled person who is having very difficulty, or a blind person who cannot come outside on his own and he has no one else. How can I tell him to come and vote? So there are some exceptions need to be given. So under normal circumstances, Representation of People Act 1951 mandates everyone to go to the booth and vote. That is why everyone goes to booth and vote it. But when exception needed, there are some alternative voting methods. Okay, what are these alternative voting methods? First one is postal ballot. So let's say there is a army person in some Assam. Okay, Assam border, he is defending that border. Now he has to come here and vote. It is impossible. So I'll give him some postal ballot. It can be electronic or physical postal order. Okay, so he will put his vote and send it to the election commission. Okay, so some exceptions will be given through postal ballot. It is literally voting from the distance. And another one is home voting. Home voting, it is actually introduced from last year, like older people, senior citizens above 80 to 85 years old, okay, and physically disabled people, people with special needs. These people were given an option called home voting. That means if someone informs the concerned authority that I cannot come to booth on the day you are telling me, I am old, I have no one, I am disabled, I cannot come, officials themselves will come to the home and take their vote. This is called home voting. Officials come to the home and take the vote. Okay, and there are something like voting in a different polling center. Usually you have to go to your polling center in the native area, but if I am a government employee working in the election duty, government has given me election duty in some other district, so government may allow me to vote in a different polling center. Okay, another one is proxy voting. Same, imagine the case of army person living somewhere else and there is no mechanism for him to vote, then government can allow proxy voting. Sir, you nominate some other person on behalf of you, your wife, your mother or father, they will vote on your behalf. This is called proxy. Another person will vote for another person. Okay, this is called proxy. Assisted voting. Take the case, if a person is blind, he cannot vote, he cannot see the symbols. So some person will assist him. That person will tell, vote to this party, this person. So I will vote on behalf of that person. This is called assisted voting. So some exceptions can be given by election commission, depends on the circumstances. Election commission is giving based on the situation. So you can see in Delhi, elections are upcoming in February. So for older citizens and people with special needs in Delhi, election commission has given home voting option. That is the news. That's it. Issue is normal. Okay, it is a frequent one, but this you should know. Okay. So electoral trust is a next news. So in India, we have a dilemma. Everywhere this is a dilemma. I'm a big business person. Now I want to donate to some political party. Even if I'm an individual, I want to donate to a political party. Is it a good thing or bad thing? Ideally, everyone should vote based on the policies. If I like policies of a particular party, I should vote it. But imagine I am the richest business person in India, and I vote a particular political party. I gave 1,000 crores, and that party won. obviously they will favor me. I will expect some returns. So donations to political parties are allowed in India, but they may have some negative consequences. It may create a tie-up between politicians and business persons. Business person will give money, and using that money, he will participate in the election. He will win the election. He will come as person. He will become person in power, and he will make the rules in favor of the business entity. So, win-win situation for both of them. But election should be free, fair, equal right for everyone. So, we need transparency in donation. That means people have the right to know which business entity, which organization, which person is donating to which party. Okay, but I am a person. Let's say there are right now 2 political parties in India. I am a very rich businessman. I want to donate to BJP. I have donated 1,000 crores to BJP, but Congress came to power. What will happen to me? These people of Congress will keep it in mind. This person has donated 1,000 crores to the BJP. He wanted BJP to win. They will take revenge on me. So such kind of things may happen. So transparency has some negative consequences here. Try to understand. I'm talking about both sides. Consequences of political donation. If you don't regulate it, it will create an excess between corrupt businessman and corrupt politician. If you regulate it, it will violate people's privacy. I want to make some donation, but at the same time, if it becomes public and some other party comes into power, it may take revenge on me. So it violates my privacy. I should be safe. So it has both sides. Whether transparency is required or not is debated in India. So in 2013, we have made something called Companies Act 2013. Under that, government has allowed something called electoral trust. What is electoral trust? Anyone, any company which is established under this Company Act can start something called electoral trust. Purpose of this trust is to gather donation. Now I started a trust. You can donate, some other company can donate, anyone can donate. All the money donated to this trust will be given to the particular political party. I will say I am forming this trust to give political donations to some party A. So whoever is interested, they can contribute. Just gathering of money. Trust is nothing but here gathering money from different individuals, giving it to a political party. That is the concept of electoral trust. But if I form an electoral trust, if someone comes and donates to my trust, they have to reveal their identity. They have to give their PAN card or some or passport number. Okay, so they have to reveal their identity. So if anyone is donating through electoral trust formed by a company, their identity will be public. They can be clearly identified. So this electoral trust exists in India since 2013. But because it is public, central government came with another thing called electoral bonds. Electoral bonds. So this is the explanation given by the government. When identity is revealed, people are not willing to come forward and they are donating secretly and it is becoming black money. If I want to give 50 crores to a political party, but I don't want it to reveal to the public, then that 50 crores is a black money. Everyone has to keep it a secret. So there will be a parallel economy, because if someone gets caught with black money, they can get arrested. So black money is rising. So government said, I will come up with an option called electoral bonds. It can be bought by anyone. I can go to a State Bank of India branch. I can buy an electoral bond. I don't have to reveal my identity. 50 crore electoral bond given to political party, party A, done. In this, money is in the system. Money is public. Money is in the banking system. There is no black money. Identity is not revealed. Then this association called Association for Democratic Reforms, ADR. It is NGO working for political rights. It approached the Supreme Court. Sir, this is violating people's right. Again, we have came to the starting position. A rich businessman will go to bank, buy some 1,000 crore bond, and it will just donate to the party. Again, there will be an excess between businessmen and politicians. People have the right to know who are donating to whom. So this was a case debated last year. and Supreme Court gave a judgment. These electoral bonds are unconstitutional. No, you have to reveal the identity. People have the right to know who is donating to which political party. Understood? So government came up with electoral bonds in which you don't have to reveal your identity while donating, but Supreme Court invalidated them. Okay. After that, again, this electoral trusts are rising. Donation through electoral trusts are rising. That is the news. Very basic, simple news only. I just have explained the whole background. What are electoral trusts? What is an electoral bond? Why donations through electoral trusts are rising again? Okay, because we have banned the electoral bonds. Okay. So next news is CAG. Okay, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. For various reasons, CAG is continuously in news. Okay, throughout last 1 month. Okay, CAG has made a report on Delhi government. CAG has made reports on some public sector entities, etc. So CAG is continuously in news. It is a completely static. Okay, in Part 5 of Constitution, from Article 148 to 151. These are articles relevant to CAG. Okay, so it is a constitutional body mandated by the Constitution itself. Okay, so Article 148 talks about the what is CAG, etc. 149 about duties, etc. So these are relevant articles from the Constitution. You should read it because CAG is continuously in use. I just have reproduced the same whatever is in these articles. Okay, this is a polity static topic, but this office of CAG is continuously in use. Okay, so please just read it once. Okay, so there is an act also. Okay, Comptroller and Auditor General Act. Okay, 1971 made by the government. So next one is section 152 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. So we used to have something called Indian Penal Code. It was made by Britishers in 1860. So it was the main criminal code of India. Okay, Indian Penal Code. If someone commits a crime, what is the punishment for that? Will be given in this IPC, Indian Penal Code. Okay, it was that means it is not right now. It was the criminal code of India since 1860. That means it was made by Britishers. They have left it, but still we continued with this IPC. Okay. In this IPC, there is a section called Section 124A that deals with something called sedition. So what is sedition? Can anyone tell me what is sedition? What is sedition? Have you heard of it? Read anywhere? Sedition? It used to be very hot topic in India. Every 1-2 months, there is a news article on sedition. Sedition is nothing but inciting someone against the state of India. భారత ప్రభుత్వానికి ఎదురుగా పీపుల్ని రెచ్చగొట్టడం. Like if I give a call, let Andhra state become a separate country. So let Andhra separate from India and become a country. I'm gathering people to fight for a separate country. That means I'm criticizing Indian government. I want to make Andhra a separate country. Okay, this kind of tendencies are called sedition. Any statement I make in such a way which divides India or which is against the state of India is seen as sedition. Okay, not normal criticizing. If I'm just saying present government is not doing enough, government brought this act has this drawbacks, this is criticism, this is acceptable. If I intentionally incite someone against the Indian state itself, country itself, larger, I want to break India, okay, then it is called sedition. So this sedition in this section 124 of IPC was not well defined. That means what is acceptable criticism against government, what is not acceptable. There is no clear mechanism. Now government is free to interpret. So this sedition was very misused. Whoever criticizes government, I make some criticism about the government comes with some scheme, I say this scheme is not good, government should have done something else, government will arrest me. I will put a Facebook post on some politician, then they will say it is sedition and they will put me in jail. So this used to happen in so many cases. This sedition provision, section 124A, was very misused in the past 70-75 years. So in 2022, Supreme Court said, no more misusing sedition. I am putting a stop to it. Till now, you come up with a clear definition of what is sedition, clear provisions on what is, how people can be charged for sedition. I am stopping it. So in 2021, Supreme Court has suspended this section 124A clause and told government to revise this sedition clause. That is why after 2022, this sedition word became less frequent in news. Then last year, government has passed some criminal laws, new criminal laws. IPC itself, Indian Penal Code itself, was replaced by Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Okay, this happened in 2024. So BNS is Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. So there is no word called sedition in this Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. No word. But people say there is a section 152 which kind of sounds like sedition. Like anyone criticizes this government, they can be liable to this thing. So people say, even though government did not use this word sedition, it has again brought this clause again in this new Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, even though Supreme Court told it not to put such kind of provision and misuse it. Okay, so the same confusion which was existing in Indian Penal Code continuing in this Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita also. Previously it was 124A, now it is 152. You don't have to remember provisions of IPC or BNS, but if something is in news, you should remember. Okay, you have to remember what is section 52 of BNS. Okay. So now Rajasthan High Court is saying, be cautious. Don't make it another sedition clause. Okay. So there is a case going on, Tejinder Pal Singh versus State of Rajasthan. So this is the standard format. If someone is going to court against someone, this is called petitioner and this is called respondent. This is how we represent them. Who is filing the case, against whom they are filing the case, in which year they are filing the case. Okay. So this Tejinder Pal Singh went to court against State of Rajasthan, okay, in the year 2024. This is called case law. Okay, case law. Judgment given in this case is called case law. It almost has the power of law. That is why it is called case law or judgment. Okay. So in this court case, Rajasthan High Court has said, okay, you are making this section 152 a proxy for sedition. Okay, you did not use the word sedition, but it is having the same effect. Okay, so it is criticized. So next news article is India-Singapore relations. Okay, the news is very small thing. Now India-Singapore established relations 60 years back. It is 60th anniversary. On this anniversary, Singapore president visited India. That is the news. Forget it. Issue is India-Singapore relations. Why Singapore is important for us? Why we need to maintain good relations with Singapore? Okay, so whenever first you hear about some place in the news, focus on its geography. Okay, so this is international relations and geography. Okay, this is how you connect with multiple papers. Geography is GS paper 1, international relations GS paper 2. Okay, so see here, Singapore is a small island. Singapore is a small island on the southern edge of Malay Peninsula. This is called Malay Peninsula. Okay, so the country of Malaysia is on two parts. This is called Malay Peninsula. This is called Borneo Island. So in this Borneo Island, part of Malaysia is there and remaining part is in Malay Peninsula. On the southern part of this Malay Peninsula, there is a small island called Singapore. It is just one city island, but it is very dense. Okay, very developed. So if you go to world history part, till 1963, Singapore was under the rule of British. Then Britishers have given independence to both Malaysia and Singapore. Then Singapore became a part of Malaysia for the next 2 years. But by 1965, Singapore realized I am very different from Malaysia. I want to be a separate country. So in 1965, Singapore got separated from Malaysia. Okay, just a bit of world history. So Singapore geography, you see, here we call it Malacca Strait. Okay, I will show you again in next slides. There is another map. So Singapore is very important because this Malacca Strait is a choke point. This is very important for us. We conduct so much trade through this region. This is called Indo-Pacific, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, South China Sea. Okay. See the location. Okay. It may be boring, but it is very important. Singapore, island state, right on the Malacca Strait. Okay. This is South China Sea. Okay. On the Malay Peninsula. This is the geography of Singapore. So here it is India. India is here. Here it is Malacca Strait. So Singapore is very important for us because most China business also goes through this Malacca Strait. So if there is a war and we want to control some part and make things difficult for China, this can be that point because most of the China's oil and China trade go through this Malacca Strait. Okay. If Singapore is completely a friend of China and India is not maintaining any relations with Singapore, China and Singapore together may block this region. Then it will be very difficult for India. Reverse will happen. So it is very important for India to maintain good relations with Singapore. Okay, strategically. So this is the static part. Okay, of history. India was one of the first country to recognize Singapore when it became independent in 1965. We have comprehensive strategic partnership with Singapore. This is like highest level. So in economic partnership, you have levels. First is like free trade agreement. This is like the starting stage. If I'm making a free trade agreement, that means we are just becoming friends. Next, preferable PTA, preferred trade agreement. Okay, preferential trade agreement. This is like we are becoming somewhat close friends. And there are levels. Comprehensive economic partnership. And the last one is comprehensive strategic partnership. It is the highest level. It is like best friend. Okay. So India and Singapore are very close. This means it is very important because we need Singapore to counter China. Okay. And we conduct some military exercise also with Singapore. Okay. And Singapore also has many Indian origin people. Okay. Indian diaspora is a syllabus line in GS paper 2. So there is a significant Indian population in Singapore. And Tamil is also one of the official languages of Singapore. Okay. So that is why India and Singapore has very natural closeness. Okay. Any doubts on any article discussed till now? Any doubts? Okay. If you have any doubt, you ask. Okay. You raise your hand and ask. So there is a list called US entity list and it is in use. So US has something called US entity list. What is this list? Any company, any individual, any organization, US feels as dangerous. There is a company, let's say it is making some nuclear things, some nuclear bombs. And US is worried that company may sell it to someone and that person may use it against US. Then US will include that company in this list and that means that company is banned. That company is sanctioned. I will put restrictions on that company. So any company or organization threatening US safety or may distribute weapons of mass destruction. There are some weapons called weapons of mass destruction. A normal bomb may kill 1 or 2 people. But if a nuclear bomb is dropped, it may kill thousands and thousands and lakhs, like what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So such bombs or such weapons which can kill on mass level, they are called weapons of mass destruction. So any company or any entity or organization which may promote these kind of weapons of mass destruction are included in this list and US will try to restrict them. US will say if a company is included in this list, US will say any company having business with it will face restrictions from US. We will not do business with that country. If I ban this company, you should also ban it. Understood? So this is the list of companies. Simply put, US does not like. This is the list of companies which US feels as a threat. Okay, this is called US entity list. And You all know, after Second World War II till 1990, something called Cold War happened across the world. So US and Western countries on one side, USSR and other communist countries on another side, they have some differences, and it is called Cold War period. Okay, and initially after independence, India started something called non-alignment movement. India said, I want to remain neutral. I don't want to go into this block. I don't want to go into this block. I don't want to be a capitalist. I don't want to be a communist. I want to stay in the middle as a socialist. But practical necessities, like in 1971, we have gone into a war with Pakistan. Okay, in that war, America supported Pakistan. So out of necessity to counter America, we have approached Russia. Till then, we have said we don't want to go to American bloc. We don't want to go to Soviet bloc. But in this 1971 war, we have approached Soviet Russia. Okay, so India started as a neutral entity, but it slowly moved towards USSR. Okay, in 1990, USSR itself collapsed into 16 different countries. This is the history of Cold War, and during this period, in 1974, we have conducted something called nuclear test. Okay, nuclear test, because we thought China, a nuclear power, all the winners of World War II, they made themselves as the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, and they have this nuclear bombs. Okay, and they said no one else can have, and we doubted China may give that nuclear bomb technology to Pakistan. Okay, yes. That is US list. It is completely irrelevant. You don't have to worry about this. That list. There may be 1,000 companies, 2,000 companies. That's what I'm saying. That forget the news. Go into the static one. If it is Indian list, okay, you may go and see the list once. But it is a list of USA. It is not at all relevant to us. I will come to the issue. I will come to the core issue. I'm just explaining you the background. Okay. So in 1974, out of the fear that China may give this nuclear technology to Pakistan, we tried to develop our own nuclear technology, and in 1974 we have conducted a nuclear test. A test whether we have this capability or not. And world was shocked by it. World did not expect that from India. So they have started some organization called NSG, Nuclear Supplier Group. And they have said we are starting this organization to promote non-proliferation. That means to prevent countries misusing nuclear technology. Okay. And after this test, many Indian companies got banned. Like there are some companies which were added to this list. Understood? When US will add into this list when US feels threatened. And US has added some Indian companies into this list when India conducted this testing, nuclear testing. Then again, in 1998, again we have conducted another nuclear test. Again, world got more angered, and there were many sanctions, restrictions on India. So India conducted nuclear test twice. Okay, but by this time, after this time, now world is changing. Cold War ended in 1990. Cold War ended in 1990. USSR became weak. USSR fallen. But now there is a new competitor for US. It is China. China is rising very rapidly. By the time of 2000, China is the most fastest developing country in the world. Now US is worried about China. All the Western countries, especially US, worried about China, rise of China. So how to counter China? Bring some country which has similar potential, and they see India. But India is restricted till then. So now US started showing sudden interest in India from that time. In 2008, they have made a civil nuclear agreement with India. They have given some exemption. Okay, India, till now we have put so many restrictions. Now we are freeing you a bit. Now you can do this. We will sell some uranium. Till then they are not selling uranium. We want nuclear power for normal purpose also, to generate electricity. Every time we burn coal, it is polluting environment. How many coal plants we will build? We need nuclear technology, which is a new technology. But no one is selling us uranium. So in 2008, US approached India and we have made a civil nuclear cooperation agreement. That means for civil purposes like electricity, you can have our uranium. But still these companies are banned. But these companies are still banned from 2008 even till last week. So that is why this US India nuclear civil nuclear cooperation deal did not give much results. Okay, understood. So after 1998, because China is rising, Western countries want some power to counter China, and they have given some relaxation to India. By this time, India also has proven itself. I am not misusing. I am not selling any weapons of mass destruction to anybody. I just want to protect myself. That is why I have conducted this test. Okay, I meant no harm. So world understood India. World has given some exemptions to India. Now India is rising. India is becoming very powerful. So that is why now US has removed these three companies from its list. This is the news. Till now, till last week, these three companies are in the US entities list. Okay, that means US will not accept any business with these entities. Okay. So read again. 3 Indian nuclear entities, no more on US restriction list. Understood? These are 3. BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center, Indira Gandhi Atomic Research Center, Indian Rare Earths Limited. Okay. So the news is Nigeria became a BRICS partner country. See, not member. Don't misread the news. Partner country. Partner country is just this. You will come to the meeting, but only members will have decision making power. You will just sit there and observe the members. Listen to them talking, but you will not speak. You may give a suggestion, but only members make final decision. This is the meaning of partner country, and there are some other partner countries also. Okay. So who are the members? BRICS is a political and economic association established in 2009. So these are the countries rising in the world by that time. Now USSR collapsed in 1990. By this time, Russia again is rising. China already fastest rising that country of the time. We have also seen now India also has so much potential. Another country similar to India is Brazil, very large country, very less population, very large country. So these countries have so much potential. So there is an economist in Britain. He said, if you 4 countries form a group, it will be very logical because you 4 has so much potential. In future, you can rule. By this time, America and other Western countries are ruling. But he said, you have so much potential and we have taken it seriously. Okay, why not we do this? So this BRIC, he has given a name called BRIC. So with that name, we have started BRIC in 2019 itself. Then South Africa, another rising African country, came and joined. Then it became BRICS. And last year, some countries, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and UAE joined. Okay, so 5 plus 4, 9 countries. Now starting from 1st Jan, Indonesia also joined. So right now there are 10 countries. Okay, news again very small. Just Nigeria became a partner country. It does not mean anything. Just a random news. But because BRICS in news, you may read about BRICS block. Okay. You can also see geography of Nigeria because it is in news. You can also read about BRICS. What are the initiatives of BRICS, etc. What is the significance of BRICS to India from mains perspective? I'm saying. If question comes, explain the significance of BRICS to India. Why we want to be part of this organization, etc. Or the achievements of BRICS. Okay. So you can go beyond the news. So India's engagement with Taliban. Taliban are in which country? Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is a country. It is called graveyard of empires. Afghanistan is a very different, unique country. First of all, it is landlocked. Focus on geography. It is in news, so focus on geography. It is a landlocked country. It does not have any access to sea. And another question, is Afghanistan a neighbor or not to India? Does India and Afghanistan touch? Okay. See, this is Kashmir part. This is called Pak occupied Kashmir. Okay. This is called Muzaffarnagar. This POK or Pakistan occupied Kashmir is disputed between India and Pakistan. India claims it. So because in reality, Pakistan is controlling it. In reality, it is not in India's hands. Pakistan is controlling it. But we are claiming it. And you are aspiring to be Indian civil servants. So you should put out India's version. So this is our land. If this is our land means Afghanistan is a neighbor to India. Understood? But in reality, we don't have access to Afghanistan. You cannot just walk into Pakistan. Okay? Sorry, Afghanistan. Now, this Afghanistan is called graveyard of empires. Why? Because the circumstances of Afghanistan are very different. Historically, it is very difficult to attack Afghanistan. Anybody who wants to control Afghanistan have faced very severe difficulties. The geography is very difficult, very high mountains. Climate is very difficult. People are natural fighters, very tough. There are different tribes in Afghanistan. No one accepts rule of other. So they are always fighting. Historical Afghanistan is always fighting. One king comes, he will be removed, another king comes, he dies, another king. So Afghanistan is always called graveyard of empires. Even superpowers. You see in modern history, you will read Anglo-Afghanistan War 1, Anglo-Afghanistan War 2, Anglo-Afghanistan War 3. This is a part of modern history, wars with different regions. Anglo-Sikh War 1, Anglo-Sikh War 2, Anglo-Maratha Wars, okay, Anglo-Mysore Wars. In the same way, you will read Anglo-Afghanistan Wars. Britishers have gone into 2 or 3 wars with Afghanistan, but they are not able to control Afghanistan. Even Britishers, they used to say British Empire is an empire where sun never sets. That means their empire is throughout the earth. There is some part on earth where sun is always there, which is a British Empire. If sun sets on India, there is another country controlled by British where sun is on. So there is sun never sets on British Empire. Somewhere or other where sun is always there on a land controlled by British. So they used to be very proud of themselves, but they never conquered Afghanistan. They go into war, heavy losses, come back. Going to war, heavy losses, come back. First Anglo-Afghanistan War, second Anglo-Afghanistan War, and this is also linked to establishment of Indian National Congress. Why Indian National Congress was established in 1885? One of the reasons is that second Anglo-Afghanistan, I think, is gone in this period. Just before this time, establishment of Congress. So people are realizing Britishers are not that tough as they are claiming. They can be defeated. They are not able to win this Afghanistan itself. So they can be defeated. This is one inspiration behind establishment of Indian National Congress. Then Britishers have tried like 1840s to 1920s. They are not able to control. First, Britishers, the superpower of the 19th century, failed. Then in 1979, USSR, Soviet Union, they wanted to establish communist government in Afghanistan, and USSR invaded Afghanistan. For the next 10 years, there was severe resistance. USSR could not establish communist government, and they have taken severe losses. Many soldiers died of USSR, and in 1988, USSR said, "Thank you, Afghanistan," and they left. They also could not conquer. Then in 2001, there was a terrorist attack in US, September 11, 9/11. Okay, and US believes that it was carried out by an organization called Al Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden, and they have done their training and received so much support from Afghanistan. Okay, in this Russia attack, when Russia attacked, and this is the time Cold War is going on, 1979. When USSR attacks, will US stay calm? America will not let Russia have this. So US is sending proxies. US started to train some people. Okay, they are called Mujahideen. Mujahideen is nothing but a group of people encouraged indirectly by US and Pakistan. We remember 1970s, Pakistan and US are close, and India was with Russia at that time. So India is indirectly supporting Russia in this invasion. Pakistan is helping America. So India and Russia on one side, India does not openly say it, but it is believed India supported Russia during this period. Pakistan, US, ultimately Russia could not conquer it. So Russia left in 1989. Now what will happen to all the fighters encouraged by America till now? Now there are rebels, there are groups with weapons, and they have experience in fighting. So when USSR left, USSR collapsed itself in 1980. This is one of the most important reasons. Now there cannot be a stable government in Afghanistan. Different groups are fighting for power, and one of the groups of this Mujahideen is Taliban. Understood? First in 19th century and early part of 20th century, Britishers tried, failed. Then Russians, USSR tried, failed again. But in this process, they have created some groups for fighting, and one of those groups is Taliban, and they have risen to power and ultimately took control of whole Afghanistan by 1996. It is not an elected government. It is an Islamist fundamentalist government. Okay. And in 2001, a terror attack happened in America, and it is believed it was conducted by an organization called Al Qaeda, and Al Qaeda received support from this Taliban, given training, etc., from Afghanistan. So in 2001, now another country invaded Afghanistan. Okay, they have killed Osama bin Laden and some other leaders. Okay, but US also could not fully eliminate these groups, all these extreme groups. So this war continued till 2021. Understood? Again, another country lost in Afghanistan. In 2020, that time also President was Donald Trump. So he decided, my people are dying there. American soldiers are dying there. We had a narrow objective. We just wanted to end Al Qaeda, and almost Al Qaeda died. There may be other organizations like ISIS, there may be other terrorists, but it is not America's concern. Those people I wanted to kill, I already killed. So in 2020, America decided I will leave Afghanistan. And in 2020, America left. Till then, Taliban were under control. America has put a government, elected government, democratic government. So between 2001 and 2021, there was elected government in Afghanistan. But in 2021, America left Afghanistan. Again, what will happen? Immediately Taliban came into power. Within days, Taliban took control of entire Afghanistan. So I'm just talking about history. So in Afghanistan, Britishers tried, failed. Russians tried, failed. Americans tried, ultimately failed. Okay. Again, in 2021, Afghanistan went into the hands of a extremist fundamental group called Taliban. And they are so extreme that they will not treat women in Afghanistan or non-Muslims in Afghanistan well. Okay, they implement this Sharia law of Islam, which is very harsh, very severe. Now you tell me, is it fair for India to deal with Taliban? Like now we are talking about Singapore. Previously we have talked about Singapore. Singapore has an elected government. They have a fair system. They have a system of rights, constitution. India has a constitution. In India, everyone is equal. Man or woman, Article 15 says no one can be discriminated based on caste, religion, or sex. So in a world where rights are respected, where equality, liberty, and fraternity is preferred, now here is a country believes in some older traditions and harsh laws and does not treat women as equal, does not treat non-Muslims as equal. Is it fair for India to deal with this? Okay, so this is a dilemma. And the government is not elected. Iran government is also kind of extremist, but some part of Iran government is elected. Here it is not elected, it is a fundamentalist group, a group of men controlling a country. So from 2021 till today, India has not recognized Taliban. We don't accept you as the government of Afghanistan. We will not deal with you. So India did not recognize Taliban till now. But not every country has the same values. Pakistan itself is an Islamist country. Pakistan has recognized Taliban. China is having good relations with Taliban. China is also not feeling like I should not deal with this country. China is not seeing good and bad. Now your two competitors, your two biggest enemies, having good relations with Taliban. Now what happened to US may happen to you in future. India has so much terror problem. Many organizations waiting outside to attack India. They may use Afghanistan again, like Afghanistan was used in 2001 against US. Now China is becoming close to Taliban. Pakistan is becoming close to Taliban. You just watch like that and they will take full control of Taliban. Taliban will only listen to Pakistan and China, which will be a problem to us. So we cannot just sit and watch. At the same time, engaging with them will create ethical dilemmas. Understood the dilemma of India? If we don't deal with them, we have real consequences. Our competitors are not seeing good and bad in them. They are having good relations with them. And we need Afghanistan. Without the support of Afghanistan, how India will go to Central Europe? And Afghanistan has many resources which can be used for India. India can help Afghanistan in many ways. So India needs Afghanistan for strategic reasons. We need Afghanistan to counter China and to counter Pakistan. If we leave Afghanistan like that, China and Pakistan will rule. Understood? So there are practical necessities compelling India to deal with Afghanistan. But at the same time, Afghanistan will not have a legitimate government. So this is the dilemma India facing till now. But because of practical necessities, now first time we have sent a foreign secretary. He is not a minister. We have sent a officer, a bureaucrat, not minister. Usually ministers go to foreign countries. But because this is not a this cannot be seen as a good thing, but at the same time we need it practically. We have sent a bureaucrat to Taliban, and this is a first. This never happened in the last 3 to 4 years. Okay, so some kind of relations between India and Taliban. We are accepting the practical reality. Okay, so if you see here, Diego Garcia is a very strategic island, and as I told you, UK is controlling it, and it has given access to US for military and navy purposes. So this is very important for both US and UK to counter China and to protect this region. So you must be aware this region is very infamous for piracy, etc. So it is very practically very important for them. Okay, so there is an agreement between UK and Mauritius country. In that agreement, they have mentioned UK will return all the islands except Diego Garcia. Okay, Diego Garcia will be with UK for the next 99 years. It was the agreement, so that is why Diego Garcia was not given. Okay, so I hope I have clarified the doubt. So Greenland. So recently, US President, the current President Donald Trump, he made a statement. I want Greenland as a part of America. Whether if they want to sell it, I will buy, or I will take it through force. So he made this statement. So this article talks about why Greenland is very important for UK. Okay. So let us focus on geography of Denmark, geography of Greenland. So you can see here, this is Arctic Circle. This is Arctic Circle and this is North Atlantic Ocean. So Greenland, it is the world's largest island. Technically, Australia is the world's largest island, but we see Australia as a continent. We see Australia as a continent. So that is why Greenland is seen as the largest island on Earth, and it sits between Arctic Circle and North Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and recently some changes also happening. See, this is a frozen region. Usually it is frozen for most of the year, but Earth is now facing something called global warming. So the regions, the icy regions around this Greenland are now getting defrozen. I mean, it is getting melted. Okay, so now you can traverse this. Now you can navigate this land. Okay, navigate this part. So this is one reason US is showing some interest. And see, from US perspective, this is US, this is US. Okay, if they have access to this Greenland, they can counter Russia and their new enemy China. So from security perspective also, US wants this Greenland. And also Greenland is a place with so much natural resources. Okay, natural resources. So for economic, strategic, okay, and for navigational purpose, etc. US wants this Greenland. So this is the importance of Greenland. Okay, so a bit of geography and international relations. You can also see of history of US expansionism. There is another hidden topic here, hidden issue here. Originally, this was the US. A group of states belonging to this region came together and formed United States of America. This is the US. But they have bought some new places like Alaska, and they have annexed some other regions, and now this is the US. Okay. Now they want to buy or annex this Greenland also. So here, history of US expansion also one topic. Okay, geography of Greenland, necessity of significance of Greenland to the US is also one topic. So the same is given here. Okay, plain facts, you just read some facts about Greenland, and its capital is Nuuk. Okay. Now next is exercise La Perouse. So La Perouse, it is a French term. It is a multilateral. So it is not a bilateral one. It is not a bilateral exercise India is conducting with any other country. It is a multilateral. That means multiple countries coming together and conducting an exercise for some reason. It is a naval exercise. So multilateral naval exercise. So you can see these are the countries participating in this exercise. And which is the host country? France is the one conducting this exercise, La Perouse. Okay, French term. And it is being conducted at Malacca, Sunda and Lombok Straits. So we have already seen this is the hotspot region right now. So everyone is right now threatened by China, and China is expanding itself in South China Sea. This is South China Sea. You must have heard about something called 9 dot line in news. So China is claiming many islands which are far away from China, near to these countries, but China is claiming them. And here it is the Strait of Malacca, Sunda Strait, Lombok Strait. So where is this La Perouse exercise is being conducted? Here. Indo-Pacific. This is Indian Ocean, this is Pacific Ocean, this is called Indo-Pacific region. Okay. So US sanctions on Russia. So we have already seen, like from our entity list article, when US feels threatened with an organization or a country, it sanctions them. US sanctions Iran, US sanctions China, US sanctions Russia, etc. So there were some sanctions on Russia always, but till now sanctions on Russia are minor. Okay. In 2022, Russia has attacked Ukraine. Russia has attacked the country of Ukraine. So many countries started sanctioning Russia. That means they are putting restrictions. If you do business with Russia, we will not do business with you. This is an example of sanction. If you do business with Russia, whatever your money with our banks, I will froze it. I will not allow you to use it. This is called sanction. Okay, so after Russia invasion of Ukraine, many countries started sanctioning Russia. By this time, see, India is a importer of oil. India imports more than 85% of oil. India is a country with large population, India needs so much energy, developing country, right now fastest developing country. So India needs so much oil and we are importing 85% of our oil imports. And in 2022, before Russia invasion of Ukraine, we are importing our 6% of oil imports from Russia. 94% from other countries like Middle East. Russia only 6% in 2022. But when Western countries started putting restrictions on Russia, putting the sanctions, Russia said, India, please, you buy oil from me, I will give you some discount. So Russia started so much discounts to India. So India started buying more oil from Russia. After Russia invasion of US, Russia invasion of Ukraine, many countries started sanctioning Russia. They have put restrictions on Russia. So Russia tried to counter it. Russia said, India, if you buy oil from me, I will give you better discount than other countries. So obviously anyone will go, whoever offers the lesser price. So India started buying more oil from Russia. So in 2026, Russia is supplying only 6% of oil. But by 2024, it became almost 40%. So we are importing 40% of our oil from Russia. On one hand, US is trying to control Russia, but what is happening? It is not having much impact on Russia because it is giving oil to countries like India and China at discounted rates. So now again US increased the sanctions, made them more rigid, more tough. Now it almost very difficult for India to buy oil like this from Russia. So this article says now because US sanctions are tightening, now countries like India and China have to look for alternatives. Now we have to buy from Saudi Arabia or Iran or some other country. Okay, understood? US is tightening its restrictions on Russia, so we cannot buy oil from Russia like we are doing right now. Okay, so one tactic used by Russia till now is called shadow fleet. What is shadow fleet? Now let's say Russia has 10 big containers, some big container ships which it uses for supplying oil. Now US has put restrictions. Anyone buying oil with this container, I will not do business with them. Sure. So Russia started using some other containers secretly. They look like they will not register themselves as oil carrying fleets. It is like black market. Some other, it says I am some other fleet, but it carries oil. So illegally, simply put, illegally, shadow fleet. Okay. So Russia used some covert methods to supply oil to avoid this US sanctions. Till now it managed it using this shadow fleet technique. But now US also put restrictions in such a way Russia cannot use this shadow fleet. So simply put, sanctions were always there, but till now Russia was able to avoid them, somehow overcome them, but now it is very difficult. So this article says, India, it's time for you to look some alternatives. Now it is not that much easy like it was till now. Okay. So same facts, whatever I reiterated. So India is a net importing country, 85% we import from outside, only 15% we produce inside. Okay, within India. So from 6% it nearly went to 38 or 40%. Okay. So now even buying oil using this shadow fleet is very difficult. Okay. A question may come like this. Recently a term shadow fleet is in news. It is related to UPSC will give 4 options. Okay. Oil production, oil transport, some other, okay, UN conventions, etc., etc. Okay. You have to identify the correct option. So Israel Hamas always in news for the past 2 years. Okay. So on October 7, 2023. So you must be already knowing about the geography. That is why I did not include it. It was like most discussed news for the past 2 years. So there is a city called Jerusalem here. Okay, there is a city called Jerusalem here. It is sacred to 3 religions. Judaism, which is the oldest religion in this region. Now from Judaism, a new religion called Christianity came around 1st century. Then in 7th century, Islam came. 3 similar religions with similar rules, having same common worship place. But because of historical reasons, Jews who follow Judaism, they have migrated to many places. But there are many stereotypes throughout the history against Jews, like they are greedy people. Okay, Jews are seen as greedy people, always giving loans to other people for high interest rates, etc. It was a stereotype. Okay, so there are many stereotypes about many communities. So the common stereotype about Jews is that they are greedy people, not so good people, not so ethical people, etc. So there are some stereotypes in some parts of the world. So there was always some discrimination against Jews. Then came this person called Adolf Hitler in Germany. So he has a theory. Native Germans who are called Aryans, they are superior. They are biologically superior. Their blood is superior. And these Jews who came from outside are of lower people, second category people. So Hitler hated Jews. So he's kind of done this racial discrimination towards Jews. And while World War II is carrying on, World War II is going on one side with Britain and France, etc. At the same time, he's killing Jews parallelly. All the Jews in all the areas controlled by him. It is called Holocaust. Okay, what Hitler carried out is called Holocaust. Find a Jew, kill them. 100 Jews, put them in a gas chamber, kill them in 1 minute. Poisonous gas. Okay, so because Hitler is doing these things like this, Jews in the Europe started running. And this is their ancient land, Jerusalem. People started migrating from here. Okay, so many Jews started coming here. They thought this was their ancient land. But by this time, by just around the World War II, by this time, Muslims are the dominant people here. Okay, there was a country called Palestine here. So previously it was ancient Jew land, but by the time of 20th century, now it is being occupied by Muslims. It is called Palestine. Now these people started coming in. There were already Muslim people who feels this is their homeland. And there are now new community coming in who feels this is my ancient land. So you have two communities who feel same land as their native place. And they are not negotiating with each other. They are not peacefully negotiating. They are not settling for peace. Everyone wants land for themselves. Okay. So this situation was more complicated by British and UN, etc. No one able to successfully do this. So there was some kind of negotiation, give some land to Jews called Israel, keep the remaining part as Palestine. This is UN's plan. But every community has some extremists. There were some extremists in Jews. There were some extremists in Islam. So because of this extremists, it always led to war. So slowly, some part was given. See, this part was Palestine and this part was Jews, Israel, first of all. But slowly, whole land is being taken by Jews. and Israel is increasing in size. Palestine is decreasing. So all the neighboring countries, which are Islamic countries like Jordan, Syria, Egypt, so they have gone into war with Israel. So there are many wars you can read. Okay, this is world history part. I'm just telling you. So there were many wars gone in history. Almost in all of the wars, Israel has won. Tiny country, but very efficient with very developed technology. So most wars they have won. Now by 2022, this is the reality. Is Palestine, which was once a country dominating this whole region, now it got limited to two parts. One is called West Bank. Why it is called West Bank? Because there is a river here called River Jordan. Okay, and on this left side of this, on the west side of this, it is situated, so it is called West Bank. And there is another separated part called Gaza. Okay, so Israel almost dominated all the wars, so it is occupying the majority region, and Palestine got split into two. And these two are not controlled by same political entity. This West Bank is controlled by an entity called Palestinian Liberation Authority, PLA. Okay, and this Gaza went into control into a organization called Hamas. So outsiders see it as a terrorist organization because it does not follow the rules of the regular organizations. Okay. So this was the situation. Many Islamist countries tired of fighting war with Israel. Egypt went into war. Instead of taking this land back, Egypt lost its land. This is called Sinai Peninsula. Israel has taken the control of Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. After some years only it has returned. So countries thought, okay, it is now time to make peace with Israel. Now I cannot support Palestine forever blindly. So for practical reasons, countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE and Egypt, they started normalizing relations with Israel. That means they are becoming friends with Israel. So Islamic countries becoming friends with a Jew country. But not everyone is happy with it. Like Iran. Iran wants to become the leader of Islam countries. So is Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia is making peace with Israel. And this organization called Hamas in Gaza is watching all these developments and it is not happy with it. It is not happy. All the Islamic countries becoming friends with Israel. Okay, so it does not want the world to forget this whole Palestine issue. So Hamas wanted to make something, make some issue, bring this issue into the front again. So on October 7, understood the background. So this is the background. In history, so many wars happened. In most cases, Israel dominated. So other countries, other Islamic countries also, who were enemies of Israel also started becoming its friends. But it is not acceptable to some countries and some organization. And Hamas is one such organization. So on October 7, 2023, it attacked Israel. It went inside Israel. Okay. It went inside Israel and taken some hostages. Ordinary civilians, innocent people, not military. Ordinary people like you and me. This terrorist organization Hamas took some people and taken them into the Gaza as hostages. So what will Israel do? Israel is bound to react. So Israel went inside Gaza and Israel is doing military operations inside Gaza. But see, this is a complicated situation. When a person is killing an innocent or when a person is taking an innocent person as a hostage, you are calling it as a terrorist organization. Then what is Israel is doing inside Gaza? Israel, if it is suspecting there is a leader, terrorist leader in a building, it is bombing them. It is not verifying there may be a civilian near it. It is not checking whether it is a hospital or a school. So there are some innocents dying in Israel attack also. Israel may be fair in its retaliation, but that does not mean innocents are not dying because of Israel. So a terrorist organization and a country is fighting. In between, innocent civilians of Israel and Gaza are suffering. So many people wanted to stop it. But there is no end. Israel cannot stop it. For political reasons, it cannot stop. If Pakistan comes inside, take some people and go into Pakistan, how can Indian government stay silent? If it stays silent, in next election, opposition party will say, this party did not take any action, that is why India lost the war. So for political reasons also, Israel cannot stop. And if you ask Gaza, why you have taken hostages? What can I do? I am a weaker organization. How can I fight against a country? They are the unethical ones. They have occupied Palestine. They are not letting people live peacefully. So everyone is right in their own perspective. So that is why world has did so much. Many countries came forward and tried to make a peace deal, a ceasefire. Please stop fighting. Let civilians live peacefully. Okay, Gaza, you give the hostages of Israel back. Israel, you stop attacking Gaza. So some countries like US, led by US, okay, Qatar. See, India did not take much initiative in this ceasefire. India could have taken initiative. Many people suggested, India, you become the world leader. India wants to be a global leader. Some people said, this is your chance. You broker a deal between Israel and Hamas. Okay, but India did not involve much. So US, Qatar, okay, Egypt, etc. They have made these negotiations and ultimately a ceasefire was reached. So this is just a few days ago. So how long this will last, we have yet to see. Okay. So Hamas started giving those hostages back to Israel. Israel stopped attacking Hamas as of now. Okay. This is a as on the reality. We have to see what will happen in future. So next one. So RBI released something called NBFC upper layer list for this financial year. So what is this list? What is NBFC? What is NBFC? Non-banking, see the name, financial company. Okay. What does banks do? Banks provide financial services. Okay. This also provides financial services, NBFC. So this is a financial company providing financial services, but is not a bank. Non-banking financial services, NBFC. Understood? So NBFC is something that provides financial services like a bank, but it is not exactly a bank. You cannot go to NBFC and deposit your money like you are doing with bank. Okay, so there are some differences between NBFC and banks. Okay, but in many ways they are like banks, but there are some ways they are not like banks. Okay, so it is a separate category. Okay, for financial reasons. Okay, NBFC, it is a company established under Companies Act. Okay, banks are regulated by Banking Regulation Act, RBI Act, etc. Okay, this is under Companies Act. So you read the definition of NBFC. Okay. So in India, NBFCs are regulated in this way. They are categorized based on the capital. What is their capacity? What is the investment, etc. So like, let's say some 10,000 crores or smaller. Okay. If an NBFC dealing with assets, total money handling is less than 10,000 crores, it is called base layer. That is smaller NBFC. Let's say smaller NBFC, medium, larger than medium, largest. Okay, this is the categorization. So how much money it is dealing with, based on that they are divided into multiple layers: base layer, middle layer, upper layer, top layer. So smaller companies, it's okay, you can give them some relaxation. Big smaller companies need relaxation. You cannot put tight regulations on smaller companies. If you leave largest companies, one company fails, Indian economy gets affected. So larger companies need more regulation. So based on your level, your regulation intensity will be decided. Understood? Smaller NBFCs will be regulated lesser, medium level. Top layer NBFCs will be regulated at a higher level, having more regulation. So which NBFCs are coming in this upper layer? A list released by RBI. That is the news. Understood? Read the news again. RBI releases NBFC upper layer. So again, news is not important. Who cares which NBFC in that list? There are thousands of NBFCs. You don't have to read the list. You have to understand how NBFCs are regulated. Okay? So what is turmeric? First pantam manam Telugulo. Okay. So turmeric is a yellow color compound having some healthy, okay, and sanitary properties. Okay, it has some natural properties. Okay, and India is the largest producer. That means it produces the maximum amount among the countries in the world. It is a maximum consumer. It is also largest exporter. So in all the three categories, India is first. We produce so much, we consume so much, we export so much. Okay. So that is why turmeric is very important for us. Understood? We have now formed a special board for turmeric. So we have formed a separate board. Ministry of Commerce and Industry formed a separate board with headquarters as Nizamabad in Telangana. Okay, just to promote the turmeric. Okay, because now turmeric is very important. Now we need to promote it in the most effective way. Okay, its composition, etc., is given. Okay. So have you heard of something called rare earth elements? What are rare earth elements? Why they are rare? Can anybody tell me why they are rare or why they are called rare? They are not rare. Rare earth elements are not rare. They have some unique properties. See, this lanthanum 57, 58, and these are called rare earth elements. And these rare earth elements are further classified. Some 57 to 63 are called lighter rare earth elements. Okay, and these are called heavier rare earth elements. Okay, based on the weight, atomic weight. They are called rare earth elements because even though they are abundant, we have enough quantity on earth, but they will not like we will not find them in mass level at one place. Okay, they are throughout the earth, but wherever they are available in very small quantities. See, during mining topic we have discussed, when something is available at larger quantities at one place, mining financially is viable. Mining is feasible financially. But if something is not available at a single place, it is very difficult to mine it. Same is with these rare earth elements. That is why they are called rare, because it is very difficult to mine them. But they are present at many places throughout there. But wherever they are available in smaller quantities. Okay. They are called rare because it is very difficult to extract them, not because they are rare. They are not present in earth in enough quantities. They are present in earth, but in tiny quantities everywhere. Okay, and their different properties also give some advantages. Like if you mix rare earth elements with your smartphone, you can reduce the size of your smartphone. There was times like 10 years back, what was the size of the phone? And it used to call only for calling, nothing else. We used to have separate FM, separate radio, separate TV. Now everything is in one phone, smaller size. So these kind of technologies are possible because of rare earth only. Okay, rare earth elements. All the new technologies, security equipment, and the new greener technologies, solar panels, etc. Most modern technologies need these rare earth elements. Understood? So rare earth elements are very important, but they are not available in higher quantities at a given place. So you will use some techniques to get maximum amount, and usually these techniques are not so good. So whatever the conventional techniques we use to mine these rare earth elements are not so good for earth. We use so much of leaching agents, etc. Just understand, whatever the way we are mining right now, these rare earth elements is not so environmentally friendly because they are not available in a high quantities at a given place. Now some Chinese scientists came up with a new technology. they used something called electrokinetic mining. Electrokinetic, see the name itself. Electro, that means they are creating electric fields. These are metals, rare earth elements are metals. So they are creating electric and magnetic fields using electricity, and they are attracting the metals towards one side. They are making the metals move, kinetic. Electrokinetic, see, using electricity they are creating fields and making these metals move to one side, and then ensuring them available at a single place in a larger quantities. Understood? And this kind of technique found more environmental friendly than conventional techniques. Okay, just a small minor news only. Just understand what is electrokinetic mining. Okay, and it is related to mining of rare earth elements. That's it. Okay, so rare earth elements, whatever is happening right now, it is not so environment friendly. Now there was some new technology being developed in China, and using that, now we have 90%, 95% efficiency in recovering rare earth elements. It is more environmental friendly and highly efficient. Okay. So what is satellite constellation? See, satellites are sent to space for multiple purposes like Earth observation, communication, etc., or study of space. When you send a group of satellites to work together, this is called constellation. A group of stars is called constellation of stars. In the same way, when you send multiple satellites, have you heard of this? IRNSS or NAVIC? Have you heard of GPS at least? How this GPS works throughout the India or throughout the world? Because there are multiple satellites positioned around Earth to ensure that every location on Earth is covered. That is why wherever you go, GPS maps are available to you. Google Maps, GPS. And this is the system of America. But how long can you trust American maps? So India developed its own navigation system called NAVIC. We have sent some 7 or 8 satellites. We have sent our own constellation, and now it is covered throughout India. Indian Army will use NAVIC. Indian Army will not use Google Maps or GPS. Okay. So this is called satellite constellation. So whatever this NAVIC or INSS, both are same. Okay. This is government led. There is no satellite constellation by private company till now. First time, okay, a private company called Pixel, okay, it is a Bangalore based startup, okay, it started a new constellation called Firefly. Okay, now they are sending a series of satellites. Okay, that is the news. That's it. Okay, so company name is Pixel. Okay, constellation name is Firefly. Just remember that. It is enough. So here is something they are saying. They are sending this hyperspectral satellite. So not normal spectrum satellite. It is hyper, more spectral than normal. See, human eye basically sees only 3 colors. RGB, red, green, blue. When light comes in longer wavelengths, it is red. When light comes in medium wavelengths, it is green. When light comes in shorter wavelengths, it is blue. All remaining colors you see is just a combination of these 3. Okay, this is normal naked eye vision. So if something can be arranged, it can see other wavelengths outside of this RGB, like infrared or ultraviolet. Then it is called, this is normal spectrum, this is more spectrum, hyper. Okay, so it can see more clearly than normal satellites. Okay, that is what hyperspectral. Okay, it can see more wavelengths, more clear. Okay. SpaceX. Okay, so SpaceX means space docking. Okay, so have you heard of ISS, International Space Station? Okay. What is ISS? See, even this is recently news. Two astronauts, Sunita Williams and one other satellite, recently went here and got stuck there. They are supposed to come back, but they could not come back because there is some problem with another spacecraft which is supposed to bring them back. Okay. So this is International Space Station, which is permanently in space. Now you can send some other spacecraft and make them dock with it. Dock means jointing. So this remains permanently. So what about the food for these people? What if it gets damaged, something needs to be repaired? So docking is a technology which allows two objects in the space to connect. That's simply put, that is the docking. Till now, only 3 countries have this docking technology: US, Russia and China. So India is not able to connect 2 satellites or 2 objects in the space till now. Recently we have achieved that. Just last week itself we have made a trial. We have sent 2 things, okay? So we have sent 2 objects into space. Okay, one is called target, one is called chaser. So we have successfully ensured both of them gets docked. Okay, and we are successful. Okay, so we became the 4th country to have this docking technology. Now you don't have to send satellite every single time. Now you can keep some things in the space like US is doing that. Okay. So ISRO successfully executes space docking experiment. India joins elite club of nations. Okay. Now India became the 4th country. So this was severely in the news throughout last 10-15 days. Okay. So there is a state called California in state, na? California in US. Okay. It is on western side. Let's see geography also. So this is US and this is the state of California on the western side of USA, and this is kind of semi-arid area, this kind of desert arid area. Okay, so in the last 10-15 days we are seeing severe wildfires here. Okay, all the trees, forests, etc. are burning, wildfire. So discussion, many articles happened why it occurred. Okay, why wildfires can be ignited? Like it can be ignited due to natural reasons, like there is a forest, lighting came, then wildfire can be started. Okay, or there may be too much heat and we have wood. If wood is dry and there is too much heat, when it's get heated too much, so because of too much heat, like especially during climate change, when earth is facing global warming and temperature is becoming too much, we may see increase in number of wildfires. Or some humans, he may have some cigarette and thrown it away without properly offing it. Okay, so for man-made reasons also, or some people out of fun they may ignite something. Okay, so for both the natural and man-made reasons, wildfires can be started, and when wildfires becomes too much, there is severe consequences on humans and animals. Like many people died in the wildfires in US right now. What happens to all the animals in the forest? What happens to the land? Land gets degraded. When land gets heated up, it loses its fertility. It's burning like days and days and days. Now land loses its fertility and it takes years to become normal again. So there is an impact on land, there is an impact on biodiversity, there is an impact on humans also. Okay, and any property also may get burned. So property loss also may occur. Okay, so for the last 10 days we are seeing severe wildfires in California. Okay, normally these are the reasons, and there are some special reasons also here, like Santa Ana winds. So In the same US, so this is called Middle Basin. So from here there are some dry winds called Santa Ana winds, and they are coming towards this Pacific Ocean. And because of those winds, dryness is increasing. They are dry winds. They are not bringing rain. They are making these regions dry. So this Santa Ana winds also believed as one reason for continuation or origin of this wildfire. Okay. And US also witnessed one event called climatic whiplash. This can be news. Okay, this term is associated with. Okay, this term which is in news recently is associated with. This can be a question. What is this climatic whiplash? What is whiplash in English? If you see whiplash in English means injury from sudden movement. Like if I move my neck suddenly and my neck broke, it is a whiplash. So anything suddenly changes and some damage occurs, it is called whiplash. So in this case of California, last few months there was severe rain. So vegetation growed like anything. And this rainy season was followed by an intense dry season and Santa Ana winds. Now, first of all, because of rain, so much vegetation grown. Now all the vegetation becoming dried up. So there are too many trees and all of them are dried. And now wildfire started. Like this is the ideal condition for wildfire. Understood? Had there been no rainy season, there should not have been this many trees. But there was a rainy season and so much vegetation grown. Now this was followed by a dry season, immediately followed by a dry season. Now all the trees became dry. So this sudden change is called climatic whiplash. It is also one of the seen as one of the reason because in this intense California wildfires. Okay, so many people died. Developed country like USA, where wildfires is very common. They are not able to control it. Okay, it is called hydroclimatic whiplash. Okay, hydroclimatic whiplash. It is a rare meteorological condition wherein extremely wet season is succeeded by extremely dry season. Okay, so it is one of the rarest climatic phenomena. Okay, this term you should remember. Okay, so this Santa Ana winds started coming from Central America to this Pacific coast, and they are very dry winds. Okay, so impact of wildfires, economic loss, destruction of life, air pollution, land degradation, loss of biodiversity. Okay, so to control this, obviously when wildfires are raging on, government needs to control it. So US is using some fire retardant, which is in pink color. Using planes, it is throwing fire retardant on all these wildfires, and it is called phosphate. The name of fire retardant US is using is called phosphate. Okay, you can take this PPT. You don't have to make notes. Okay. So this phosphate was criticized. I mean, some people are criticizing US government for using this because it is having some negative consequences also. See, they are using pink color for high visibility. Okay, if you are a firefighter, you are on ground, and this plane is throwing this fire retardant, you should be able to see it. Okay, so it is having some concerns like toxic metals inside this fire retardant. It may get leached into groundwater, etc. So it has some environmental concerns also. So some people criticize it using this post-check fire retardant. Okay. So see, two sides of the coin. One is raising wildfire, government has to control it. So government is using its best option, fire retardant. But it is not entirely good thing. It is also having some consequences. If it doesn't use this post-check, who will control the wildfire? It will damage the property. If it uses, it may result in long-term environmental damages. Understood? So this is how anything goes. Counterfire. So that is like cinematic techniques, I agree. But see, real fire is huge in scale. If it is like 20-30 kilometer long, where will you start the fire? And what is the guarantee some wind does not push your fire back? First of all, it is very difficult to control because of all the winds, huge scale. Okay. Smaller thing, I accept that will work. Reverse side will work. Okay. So our main news done. Okay, I will just discuss 4 or 5 miscellaneous news. Okay, some random news articles I will just describe. Okay? So there is a incident of poaching of melanistic tiger in Odisha. So in Odisha there is a national park and tiger reserve Simplipal. Okay, so GS3 Simplipal National Park or tiger reserve. In there, one rare melanistic tigers. So we have this component called melanin. Okay, it results in darker skin color, and in tigers, these darker tigers are rare. Tigers are usually in yellow color, as we see. So this melanistic tigers are usually seen only in Orissa. In the world, more or less, it is usually seen in Orissa. So it is a very rare tiger, and some people poached it. It is illegal, so they have caught. It is in news. So you can see Simplipal is in news, and you can find this melanistic tigers more or less in Orissa only. Okay, two things. So there is a sanctuary in Assam called Holong Gibbon Sanctuary. Okay, so gibbon is an animal. So why this is in news? Because government gave permission to have oil and gas exploratory drilling inside of this sanctuary. So some people are criticizing government action. You should protect this, and if you do this oil and gas exploration, it may threaten this biodiversity here. Okay, just 2 minutes, people. Just 2 minutes. Okay, we are done. Just 2 minutes. Be patient. Okay. So another news is that Siachen Glacier. Okay, it is in J&K. Okay, J&K or Ladakh, that place. Okay, in Siachen Glacier is like highest battlefield around. It is very high from sea level. Okay, and in Siachen recently, Reliance Jio started 4G and 5G services. I mean, it provided internet connectivity there. Okay, I mean, which can be helpful for army people, etc. So that is in the news. Okay, Jmo tunnel. Okay, or Sonamarg tunnel. So there is a So this is Jammu and Kashmir. Imagine this is Jammu and Kashmir. Now you have this Ladakh here, okay, and you have Kargil here, and this is Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, this is Ladakh, this is Kargil, this is Jammu and Kashmir. And you already know there are severe Himalayas here, very high Himalayas. Okay, and Himalaya mountains are here. So usually the connectivity between this Ladakh and Srinagar or Kashmir is very difficult. So government is implementing various infrastructure projects. They provide connectivity between this Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir, Ladakh and Kashmir. Okay. So last or the year before that, government has started something called Jojila Tunnel. Okay. It is almost 14-kilometer tunnel connecting this Ladakh and Kashmir. Jojila Tunnel 1-2 years back. Now they have started another tunnel called Jmo Tunnel or Sonamarg Tunnel. There is another name also. It is also connecting Ladakh to Kashmir, okay, just extending the connectivity with Jojila tunnel, etc. So just infrastructure, whichever places are not accessible, now government is providing infrastructure. Okay. So you must have heard about IMD, Indian Meteorological Development. Sorry, Indian Meteorological Department. So it is under which ministry? Ministry of Earth Sciences. Okay, it was established in 1875. It was established in 1875 by Britishers. Okay, now we are in 2025. That means it has completed 150 years. So they are kind of having a minor celebration, maybe 150 years. So this IMD is very crucial. You may expect a question in mains, role of IMD. Okay, because it gives the warnings about climatic weather events, etc. Its forecasts are very useful to many fields like farmers, agriculture, disaster management. Okay. So IMD turned 150 years. Okay. So read in that way. Okay, have a focus on IMD because this year it is in news and it has completed 150 years. Okay, so role of IMD, I will say it will be important for both prelims and mains. So this scheme, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana under Ayushman Bharat. So Ayushman Bharat is a health insurance scheme, and this scheme is in news because now another state, Odisha, has joined. Okay, so this means states have the option to join or not, and this news was Odisha has joined it. So this news is in news in current affairs. You may read it. Okay. Lokpal. So Lokpal has completed 5 years. Okay, there is an act called Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013. So because it completed 5 years, now there is a news on how Lokpal has performed in the past 5 years. Okay. So news, no, I don't think that much important. Okay. So you can go through Lokpal Act. Okay. What are the provisions of Lokpal and Lokayukta Act? Okay. What is Lokpal? What is Lokayukta? What does it does, etc. Okay. It investigates complaints against the officials and ministers. Okay. That's it. Okay. We are done with this week current affairs. Okay. It is very difficult to discuss 1 week or 10 days current affairs in just 3 hours. Okay. How to go fast. Thank you.